What's going on, guys? PlayBox here. We're back for another Dragon Ball Legends video. In this one, we are going to be doing a tier list of all the Legends limited units slash Ultra units. And this is only including the summonable Ultras. We're not going to be ranking the free-to-play Ultras. So pretty much all the LFs and all the Ultra units. I want to do this tier list video during this month's monthly LF, which I thought it was going to be a monthly LF, but they turned out to be an Ultra unit. So I was wanting to do the tier list for this one, so that way we're like midway from my last tier list and the next tier list that I'm planning to do during the 4th anniversary. So this is going to be the one I do in between then, right? So we have quite a few LFs that dropped and an Ultra unit that dropped since my last one. I mean, only 2 new LFs and 1 new Ultra, but I'm pretty sure my placement for a lot of these units are going to change drastically compared to my last one. I don't really remember the ordering I did for the last one, but I think a lot of these units are going to be changed around for this one. So, you know what? Without further ado, let's just hop in straight into the first one. By the way, there's 2 Bardoks here for whatever reason. I don't know. I added 1 Bardock picture, but it happened to generate 2, whatever. So we're going to start off with LF First Form Frieza. So, by the way, just real quick, these are the tiering systems. I don't know if I'm going to even use this tier 3. I don't know why I even added it, to be honest. But Z+, Z, S, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So, pretty standard. So, LF Frieza, right? I think LF Frieza right now is actually very good, very solid. Mainly because LOE is like at the top of the game right now. Probably not the best team currently, but top 3 easily. So LF Frieza is in a really good spot right there. So for that, I'm going to be putting him in S tier because I do believe he deserves it. Next up, we got Ape Vegeta. Ape Vegeta, honestly, not gonna lie, probably one of the worst LFs right now. And it's not only because he's a red unit, because obviously you guys know that red units are down bad, down horrendous actually. So it's not mainly because of that. He has good utility in terms of like endurance, his green card and stuff like that, but it just doesn't really do much other than like he's just there for the endurance. Other than that, he doesn't really do much. He has some cool little utility, but I don't really see him to be that much of a threat. So for that, I think we're gonna put him in tier 2. I'm gonna, like I always say, I'm probably gonna move stuff around as we go on, but for now, I feel like tier 2 is a good spot for him there. So yeah, let's keep going. LF Piccolo. This is tough because LF Piccolo as a unit is really good, but his teams are just gone. They're like nowhere to be found, right? So I think for now, LF Piccolo, I'm gonna leave him at tier 1. I was contemplating on putting him in tier 2, but I think bottom of tier 1 would be better. Because the units we're going to be putting in tier 2, I don't think they're on they don't compare to LF Piccolo. I think LF Piccolo is just better than the units that I'm probably going to put in tier 1. Alright, tier 2, sorry. So, speaking of tier 2, Beerus as well deserves to go tier 2. I'll put him Beerus behind Ape Vegeta. Beerus is just not that great anymore. He was, once upon a time, one of the best units in the game by a long shot. He was one of the first, he was the first LF Zenkai and one of the first Zenkai units to should have come to the game, right? It was him, Red Goku, and the Blue Broly. And when he dropped, not many people had him, but those that had him, he was like the best unit in the game by a very sizable margin. So now he's pretty trash. Tier 2 behind Ape Vegeta. Broly is not that great either. I feel like his only time where he does decent damage is when you pair him up with Bardock, but you're almost never going to use him with Bardock because there's just so many better units to use on Super Saiyans, right? So Broly, I will put him right behind. I feel like I want to place him here. Like I said, because I need to know what other units are going to be going in tier 1. So for now, I'm going to place him there. Yeah, Broly definitely going to be placed there. LF Vegeta, he's very good right now. This guy was easily the worst LF in the game. That was because he was like the oldest one without a Zenkai. But now that he got a Zenkai, they could have honestly done more with him. But now that he got a Zenkai, he's pretty damn good. Main green option on God Key. So we're going to place him He's gonna be S tier. I think in front of Frieza. I think now, especially with God Key starting to show some resurgence, he's definitely, I think, deserves this placing right here. So, okay, here we go. We're coming to the man of the hour, Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. Let me tell you right now, this guy is beyond cracked, and I think this is going to be a trend moving forward with these Ultra units. There's no surprise that this guy's just stupid, and I'm pretty sure you guys aren't surprised of where I'm going to be placing him, and it's going to be our first Z Plus unit. This guy is clear and cut above everyone in the rest of everyone in the game, and it's not even a debate. You can argue that he's looking good because of the feature boost, but similar to Ultra Gogeta, he's going to be extremely oppressive even after the feature boost. So Z Plus is perfectly fine with him for him. Then we come over to Kid Buu. Kid Buu is definitely showing his age. I think at high stars he can definitely do stuff, but his lack of defenses are really apparent. He has very low defenses, but his offense is pretty good. He's like kind of similar to UI Goku in that instance, but UI Goku gets folded very fast, right? So I think Kid Buu can go bottom of tier 1. I think tier 1 is going to be the most crowded spot in this video. There's a lot of units that I just feel like they're mid, not in the terms of they're trash, but like mid means like middle, right? They're just straight up in the middle of all these LFs, right? So that's that. LF Jiren, one of the newer additions to these tier lists. I think LF Jiren right now actually works very well on He's actually works very well on the leader for any team, and that's because of his rising rush control, his conditional endurance, and the buffs he gets, right? And right now with the addition of this Ultra Goku, you just run them both together and you're pretty much good, and you can just throw in any other USS unit, or you can just, any other USS unit, because that's the only team they run on. Him, Jiren, and you can actually slot in Ultra Gogeta on the leader for USS. That's like one of the ways you can run both Ultras together. But that team is nasty, or you can swap them out for Topo or Beerus. It's actually starting to become a pretty strong tag. So I think Jiren is going to go Z tier. I wouldn't place him in Z tier prior to Ultra Goku's release. I would put him in the top of S tier. But I think with Ultra Goku, I think he pretty much solidifies his case for Z tier. But that's just my opinion. If you guys put him in S tier, that's completely fine with me. I understand that. But I think right now you see him a lot actually in PvP, and he actually impacted it pretty decently. So I think in Z tier it fits perfectly for him. The one thing my biggest gripe with this unit is that his green card just doesn't provide any sort of cover nullification. And since you want to be able to land that next striker blast card, it just makes it so much harder because you're at long range and they can easily just swap into any unit that can cover change to whatever attack you're going to use, right? So it is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Perfect Cell pretty much replaced everywhere, right? Powerful opponent, Jiren replaces him. Future, Goku and Vegeta better than them. Goku and Vegeta on the leader for Future, I think, is the way to go there. Am I missing something? Merge Zamasu? I think Merge Zamasu replaced him too. But High Star Perfect Cell is actually pretty scary. Regen is dead. What else does he have? Future, Regen, powerful opponent. I think that's it, right? Android's nowhere to be found. So Cell, I think he's gonna go right there, top at the front of tier 1 for now. But I think that's a good spot for him. Full power Frieza. Once upon a time when, actually just a couple months ago, probably like mid-January, I would argue that Frieza would be like top of S tier. This was during like Eloise's resurgence, right? I'd argue full power Frieza was top of S. But honestly, like I've faced him more and more, and now with like Eloise, their new style where you go like Jiren on the leader slot, that's also a very viable option. I think he's just too good to not be put in Z tier. He just offers a lot endurance nullification. So many units that just have endurance nowadays. Just having that endurance nullification is really good. Vanish restoration, he does really good damage. Blue card AoE, he has a lot of nifty stuff. You can argue you can swap these guys around. I think full power just has a bit over Jiren, but it's honestly really close between those two. So that's where we're gonna place him. Let's see who's next. FSK. FSK Gohan. FSK, I think I'm going to be putting him like, do I want to put him here? Huh. Is he better? I don't know. I think he might start to show some form of resurgence, because right now there's one super oppressive yellow unit running around, and it's this guy. So maybe you might throw him out. Actually, just the other day, or actually earlier today. Actually, by the time you're seeing this, probably the other day. But I faced him in PvP, and he just he was running him with you run him with the family Kamehameha Goku, the dead Goku that gives death buffs. So I killed the Goku, and then this guy proceeded to just 2-card Ultra Goku, right? So when he has a dead ally member, especially that Goku that just fulfills all the criteria this guy needs, it's really hard to stop. But the reason why he's so low on these tier lists, not just this one, but in many other tier lists, is because hybrids nowhere to be found. Sun family, you don't really run him. Red units in general are dead. And his biggest thing, his last man standing buffs, are just completely wiped out by so many meta units, right? You got like the Goku and Vegeta, I believe. Did they remove? I forgot about the Goku. I don't think so, actually. But you got Gogeta on his green card, Super Vegeta on his main ability, Ultra Gogeta on his green card. That right there is like 3 of the top 5 most used units in the game. So you have too many units that just do that for fun. So that just makes him not that much of a threat. So I'm going to be placing him there. Actually, I'll put him above LF Piccolo, just because, I don't know. When you see units this close between each other in these tiers, they're easily swappable between them. So don't let these placements, especially in these lower ones, fool you. It's mainly these top ones where I like definitely put them one over the other. But these ones here, you can swap them around. Future Gohan. Future Gohan is definitely Z tier. Do I put him over Jiren? Future Gohan has future. Hybrids no longer exists, and fusions, which is funny because he's not a fusion warrior, right? He's not a fusion warrior, right? But he's the best leader for fusion warriors over Oob, I would say. I feel like he just does more damage. He does better support. Overall, I feel like he's just better as a unit compared to Oob, so that's why he's on the leader. And yeah, he just his disruption on cover, his cover change, all that stuff, that makes him so goddamn annoying to use, to run against. He definitely deserves a Z tier spot there, because right now Fusion is just like the best team in the game, right? So I'm gonna put Future Gohan there. Gogeta Blue. Gogeta Blue. I think in my last tier list video, actually, I rated Gogeta Blue a bit lower than what I would rate him, because now I mean he's still tier 1, but I think I'll put him top of tier 1. He has been replaced on all his teams. Been replaced on Fusions, been replaced on God Key, been replaced on, actually no, you can argue that he's still the main on movies, but it's pretty tied with all the options they have. Does Goku buff the family coming out of Goku? Does he buff movies? He's a movies character, but I think he only buffs Sun family. I could be wrong, but it's between him, Birdku, or that Goku if you want to throw him on the leader slot. I would still arguably run this Gogeta over all of them. Maybe not over the Deadku, but it's pretty close between all of them. And because of that one team, I would put him above all these other units in tier 1. And yeah. UI Goku, Ultra Instinct Goku, my favorite unit in the game to use. Dude, when is this guy gonna get a Zenkai, man? It's pretty safe to say that this dude is pretty much the worst unit in the game. No, sorry, not the worst unit in the game, the worst LF in the game, and I don't think that's debatable. There is someone else that could potentially be worse than him, maybe like Majin Vegeta. That's tough, actually. I'll see when I come to that point, but at this point, Goku is definitely tier 3. He's just useless. You could run him on Mono Purple where he's getting like 70 Zenkai buffs, but without those Zenkai buffs, like he's pretty worthless. So yeah, he's the worst unit in the game. Let's move on over to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Now, I know there's a pretty hot debate going on where people are comparing Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Goku and Vegeta as the best LF in the game. By the way, let me rank him. For me, he is the best LF in the game. I think he slightly just takes it over Goku and Vegeta. I think he's just the best in the game. Like, I wouldn't say if you put Goku and Vegeta over Gogeta 4, I wouldn't say you're wrong. They're so close to the point where you can go either way. But I think for me, Gogeta 4 is better. And I feel like, and this is mainly one of the main reasons, is because first of all, Gogeta is on the best team in the game, Fusions. He doesn't require any type of Zenkai buffs to actually look good. He just needs your Plat equip, but you know, you're always rating this Gogeta with his Platinum equip. Without it, you don't even bother rating this guy in the tier list. You'd probably be tier 7. But you're obviously always going to rate him with the equipment, fully maxed out equipment, of course. But yeah, I just feel like just him slotting on the best team in the games, best teams in the game. And he just does so much damage. So he's pretty tanky. He has a bunch of utility. It's slightly over the edge for Goku and Vegeta. And I feel like Goku and Vegeta's value is slightly overrated because a lot of people just think of him when he's on Mono Purple. Mono Purple, he's getting like 3 to 4 Zenkai buffs, which completely changes his stats up significantly. But when you compare him like on a team like God Key or Future and stuff like that, where he's not getting that many Zenkai buffs, you can kind of see that he's not that tanky. He's sort of fragile. He takes a lot of damage, and his damage is not super. It's still good, but it's not super stellar to the point like in Mono Purple. And truth be told, Mono Purple is slowly starting to die out. There's a lot of counters to that team, and with this Ultra Goku, this guy is like Mono Purple's worst enemy. So they're starting to slowly move down the rankings. So because of that, I would safely put Gogeta above Goku and Vegeta. Coming over to the next one, Goten. Goten, I would probably put him, I think tier 1, somewhere in tier 1. I think I would actually put him behind Gogeta. It's just that you don't see him ever, and the few times you do see him, he's probably like Senkai buffing someone. His only teams are Sun Family and Hybrids, and he's not used on any of those teams. So I'd put him like here. It's not really that he's good as a unit, but just not that not that used. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's crazy that a lot of these units were like C tier like just a couple of months ago, like literally a month before Legends Festival, or just the day before Legends Festival. Super Saiyan 3 Goku going to top of tier 1. Still solid, still good, but you know, you're just better off using Gogeta on all the teams you're running him on. Does he buff Sun Fam? He doesn't buff Sun Fam. He only buffs Super Saiyans, and Gogeta 4 is just outright better than him. You can use him for the Zenkai buff. That's pretty much all he's used for. Goku and Vegeta, like I said, goes right behind Goku and Vegeta. For me, they're like kind of tied for the best LF. No, it's not kind of tied. It's pretty close, but for me, Gogeta 4 is just straight up better. So yeah, Bardock. Bardock is an interesting one. Bardock. Bardock is not touching these tiers, by the way. He's not S tier. Bardock, probably I would put him. Would I put Gogeta over Gogeta Blue? His endurance is very beneficial. Okay, wait. I think I'll put him over Gogeta Blue. The thing with Bardock is, first of all, his conditional endurance is ass. The fact that you need an ally dead to gain endurance is completely stupid, because the whole point of having endurance is to save someone from the Rising Rush, to prevent you losing a teammate. If you have to lose the teammate in order to get his endurance, it almost makes his endurance pretty much useless. That's my biggest issue with him. My other issue is his main team, his only team actually, is Saiyans. And if you just think of the core Saiyan units, Gogeta 4, Ultra Gogeta, and I guess this Bardock, right? Out of those three, who are you willing to sacrifice to the rush? Bardock, right? But Bardock wants you to sacrifice those other two members so he gets his endurance and his last man standing buffs. So it just doesn't work properly in my opinion. So I think he deserves to go in tier 2. Majin Vegeta, I think I'll put him right up. I think his damage, honestly, his damage is still good. I haven't even used. I should probably revisit this Majin Vegeta. I only have him at 4 stars. That's the problem. This Majin Vegeta, I don't know. I feel like UI Goku might slightly have the edge because you can run him on Mono Purple, which is like the best team in the game. No, whoa, sorry, a good team. But Mono Purple doesn't really use UI Goku. I think I put Majin Vegeta over UI Goku. Yeah, I think they're both garbage. I would put them both at the bottom of tier 3. Alright, Namek Goku, or Zenkai Namek Goku. You don't really use this guy anymore. He's just there as one of the best bench units in the game, actually. Providing double offenses to Saiyans and Super Saiyans and the Zenkai buff. Like, him and Goku are like really like staple bench options for Saiyans. So just because of that, I'm gonna put him right here. I might have to revisit him too. He has like 2 platinum equips. So yeah. Revival Gohan, I'll put him bottom of S tier. Yeah, he's still good, right? He's still good. I recently revisited him. Once you pop his Revival, he has like some of the highest stats in the game, and he just continuously stacks buffs too. So units like that, they just do so much damage, and his blue card still does a lot of damage. So yeah, I think at bottom of S tier is a good spot for him. His main team's what? Hybrids, movies. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. And some people like to use it on Mono Purple, but I feel like like I keep saying, hybrids are nowhere to be found. Movies, I feel like you just run Goku and Vegeta instead. So he doesn't really have a spot anywhere, but he's still a good option. Like Revival, just that alone is already a good reason to have him. So I think bottom of S makes sense. He's not to the point where you would put him in tier 1, but I think bottom of S makes a lot of sense for him. Purple Rose. Actually, I'll put him behind Bardock. Actually, no, I'll put him behind Gogeta Blue. I think I kind of overrated him in my last video. I think I put him in S tier. I don't think he deserves to be S tier. He has his endurance nullification, which is his biggest asset. Extreme bleed and all that stuff, but he's just not that great anymore, right? Yeah, I think I slightly overrated him before. I think mid tier 1 makes perfect sense for him. And here we come to the second and final Ultra unit, Ultra Gogeta. And this is gonna be pretty tough because we have this Goku, but this guy, I'm going to be putting him above Ultra Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Now, before you guys say anything, it's honestly, this is tough. I can't really put one over the other, but I think Gogeta over this guy makes a bit more sense to me. Simply because of the blast armor in Gogeta and just like how oppressive he can be. Like, don't get me wrong, this Goku can be just as oppressive as he is. This is more actually of like a 1A, 1B type of situation. There's really no wrong answer you can go with rating these two at the top. There really isn't. And for me personally, I think Gogeta slightly takes it over Goku, but it's really not that far behind. Like, it's not even close. The gap between these two is actually smaller than the gap between these two. So yeah, I honestly think it's like 1A, 1B type situation. Sword of Hope Trunks. Sword of Trunks' best team is Future. Future is actually slightly showing, not showing their age, but like slightly decreasing in value because the top teams are so nasty. So actually, Sword of Trunks, I'll put him at the, I think I'll put him here, top of S. Yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna put him. I was thinking of putting him in Z tier, but I feel like I don't think he's quite to the same level as these other guys here. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it like that. Yeah, Super Saiyan 4. I don't know how long this video has been going on, but let's quickly try to wrap this up. I don't want it to be too long. But LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku, after getting his plat, he's actually not bad. So I'm actually gonna put him like here. Actually, he's actually pretty decent. So yeah, over Rose makes sense, but not quite over Gogeta Blue. His only teams are GT and Sun Family. Sun Family. Who would you use on Sun Family? I don't remember, but GT you would pretty much use Oob instead of him. So yeah. Super Saiyan Blue evolved. I mean, he just got replaced by this guy. He had his one team, Universe Survival Saga. He got replaced by him. God Key got replaced by him. So he's been replaced on all his team. He's pretty much only relegated to Vegeta Family, which is not terrible. So we're actually gonna put this guy. You know, like prior to this update, probably would have put him like bottom of S tier, but I think now he probably goes here, top of tier 1. I think that makes more sense for him. I don't think he's quite. I don't think he even deserves to be S tier anymore. Like a lot of these S tier options are like main options. Like a lot of these options above S tier, actually pretty much all of them except maybe Revival Gohan, all of them are main options on their best teams. So this guy is not. So that's why. Super Vegito. So Super Vegito, where would I put him? Actually, I would put Super Vegito above. Okay, listen. Actually, listen to this. Before this update yet again, Super Vegito, I would actually place him in Z tier. But right now, with all these freaking Ultra Gokus running around, I'd put him at top of S. Purple units are actually like in trouble, yo. It's actually not even funny. This Goku just completely the same way this Gogeta like is shutting down red units. This Goku is on like almost there to shut down all the purple units. But obviously, granted, like purple units are in a much better spot than than red units. But like this Goku's value is tremendously high right now due to how many strong purple units there are. Like just take a look at this. Goku and Vegeta, Jiren, Super Vegito, Full Power Frieza, Revival Gohan. Like those are all purple units, man. It just makes no sense. So yeah, I think Super Vegito top of S makes sense. So yeah, Vegito Blue bottom F tier 1. I think Vegito Blue is better than these units just due to the fact that he draws strike cards and he has a strong ultimate. That's literally all it takes to be stronger than these guys. Corrupted Zamasu. Can you, like, this is crazy. Look at, where are the red units, man? This makes no sense. I guess this Vegeta counts as a red unit, but where are the red units? 1, 2, CMZ is probably the best red unit, but that doesn't mean much, but I'm going to be putting him here. Because at the very least, he's able to, you know, go type neutral with his green card, and he has 30 timer counts of type nullification. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting him there, but dude, they should really drop this Goku, by the way, should have just been red. Because if they made him busted, that would have been like good because red units need it. But you know, I wonder when red units are gonna start seeing more playtime in PvP again. And this Bardock, of course, is alone, so I mean, I can't take him out. Just ignore this Bardock. I actually can't take him out. Well, that's funny. So yeah, that's gonna be my tier list. So let's quickly go over this. Ultra Gogeta and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku as the best units in the game For me personally, Ultra Gogeta slightly takes it over Goku, but like I said, two of the best units, 1A, 1B, it's not really that far behind. Like, they're the two best units in the game, that's all you have to know. Best LF in the game, Gogeta 4, again, close to Goku and Vegeta, but slightly takes the edge over him. But again, still very close. Full Power Frieza, Jiren, and Future Gohan in that order for Z tier. Then we move on to S tier. We have Super Vegeta, Sword of Hope Trunks, Zenkai Vegeta, full First Form Frieza, and Revival Gohan. Revival Gohan, you could argue he's tier 1. And you could probably swap around these units if you really want to, but I think this order for me personally works out fine. Then tier 1, we got all these. I don't even feel like naming all of them. Do I want to change the ordering on this? The ordering here is pretty loose. You could say you can probably move them around by 1 or 2 spots in either direction, but not by that much. Like, you can't just move this Vegito Blue like over here. Like, no, that makes no sense. Honestly, Vegito Blue, I'm gonna bring him here. He doesn't really belong in these with these units. He's not that great. So that's that. And then these guys, I think that makes sense to me. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Maybe even Perfect Cell over Goku Black. I think like that makes sense to me. And then tier 2, Vegeta Blue, A Vegeta Broly, Beerus, yep. And then these guys, worst units, ignore this Bardock. So I'm pretty satisfied with how this turned out. I think that, in my opinion, works out pretty well. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think is the best between Ultra Gogeta or Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken? Who do you think is the best LF units? Give me your top 5 LS. Drop us many comments as you want. I'll be sure to read and reply to all of them, or as many as I can. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe, because that shit is so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.